double budget crisis. Our state and our state's largest city are both in the red.
The city of Denver slashed its workforce this week and will tighten its belt on spending. That's to fill a $200 million hole in the city's general fund for next year.
This is happening at the same time as Colorado lawmakers are trying to stop a hemorrhaging of cash in this year's state budget. The legislature heads back to the Capitol tomorrow for a special session. They need to come up with $750 million to cover this year's expenditures after passage of President Trump's big, beautiful bill. That bill lowered taxes for businesses and individuals, resulting in less revenue for the state. We are one of 4 states that uses federal taxable income to determine how much people pay in state taxes. As your political reporter Sean Boyd explains, the summer session is expected to get heated.
Lawmakers have already filed more than 24 bills, but they are limited in scope. The governor sets the parameters for the special session. And since the law allows him to decide the spending cuts in this case, he's directed lawmakers to increase tax revenue. But the two parties have very different ideas for how to do that. The battle lines are drawn at the state capitol.
The number one thing we are looking at is closing corporate tax loopholes.
Democrats who are in control plan to roll back up to $400 million in business tax breaks, including a $70 million incentive for insurance companies to establish regional home offices here.
When we are talking about taking money from working families and quite literally food out of the mouths of children, food stamps are on the line here. I think that it is completely unethical for us to say the insurance industry deserves that money instead.
This is just another signal to the insurance industry that they really aren't welcome in the state and those jobs don't mean anything.
Carol Walker with the Rocky Mountain Insurance Information Association says the bill could cost the state thousands of jobs. Democrats are also expected to impose up to $100 million in new fees on health insurers and end a tax break meant to compensate businesses like restaurants for sales tax collection.
The problem is that it's death by 1,000 cuts. This is just yet another thing that is going to be another cost that is going to be increased for the restaurant industry.
The federal government gave us tax relief, and the state Democrats' answer is, we've got to increase your taxes now.
Republican Senator Barb Kirkmeyer says the state could absorb almost all of the lost revenue by changing a program meant to lower the tax liability of families that make under $95,000. About $230,000 of them have received more than they owe in taxes, $663 million more. Under a bill by Kirkmeyer, the state would cover the tax liability only.
To make sure that, we have the funds to spend on what are our core functions of government, K through 12 education, healthcare, public safety, those types of things, roads.
It does not surprise me that Republicans are once again looking to take from working families in order to pad the pockets of billionaires.
Representative Yara Zokai says it's a difference of priorities. Kirkmeyer agrees and says Democrats should do what the Taxpayer Bill of Rights requires and let voters decide on changes to tax policy.
And if they're so sure of their scheme, why don't they put it all to a vote?
Lawmakers are also expected to use about $300 million from the state reserve to cover the shortfall. In addition to the budget, there are 4 bills addressing a controversial artificial intelligence law set to take effect in February, as well as bills regarding funding for food stamps and Planned Parenthood. The special session is expected to last up to a week. At the Capitol, Sean Boyd, covering Colorado First.